an artist that people love that you're unimpressed by?
Over the passing of comedic legend John Witherspoon,
I'm addicted. DK, DJ. 10 songs in a row.
summer jams have you been to?
When I saw you posted up on the gram that
We sit at the Roots picnic.
Fell out over this beat, and you are not wrong.
I'm kind of partial.
Do not lose sight of what a spiritual awakening is really about. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Spirit School. I'm gonna keep on grounding your energy in. Can't talk about conspiracy theories, ETs, ancient knowledge all the time, which is a part of your awakening journey to know all these things, but always boils down to you, your soul lessons while you're here. This is what this is all about, this incarnation here, you guys, because Earth is a school where you can accelerate in your ascension many levels in one lifetime. Let us not forget, I've said this before, there are a lot of freaking souls waiting on a guest list, so to speak, waiting to come here to have this experience. And you already know all this cosmic shit already. It's already ingrained in you. This is about you coming here to learn your soul lessons. And I'm saying that because I personally went through that journey myself. Something is going on in the energies, particularly today, because I was sitting outside, beautiful day in New York. You know, we've had just crazy snowstorms back to back here, and today was just gorgeous. And I sat outside, was having coffee at this coffee shop, and I'd say around 4:15, I felt a shift in energy in the ethers. Literally, I felt like something that's weighing me down all of a sudden was lifted off of me, and I felt so fucking light. And that with the combination of me listening to a particular song, which has nothing to do about life, but the combination of the song plus the downloads I was receiving at the same time, I was just holding myself back from crying in public. I had shades on though, but it was just such a deep moment for me, and spirit, the divine, wanted me to acknowledge how far I've come on this spiritual awakening journey. This is why I could sit here and be on here sharing this with you guys. I wanted to make sure I gave you some background. I'm going to make another video, a little more background about me, because you also need to know who you're getting your information from, who's healing you. It's very important. So I'm transparent with y'all. This is why I'm sharing what I share, not only my own spiritual gifts, but I've walked this path, so I know what it's like. And I'm getting emotional right now, excuse me. I also want to say that, I don't have to be here doing this on this platform. I've been fortunate enough to be on even bigger platforms doing what I love and receiving accolades for it. So this is really labor of love what I'm doing right now, because I ain't getting paid for this shit. But this is my calling, and this is why I'm here. And I'm grateful for messages that I get like this from y'all, because, I kept my spiritual gift, hidden. And it was also very suppressed, because this is why I could tell y'all, as your gifts are going to unlock in this new earth frequency, the more you really tap in and align with yourself in here. We all have access to this. We've had access to this in other lifetimes, which I'll share in another video. I know I owe y'all a lot of videos, so I'm going to get to it. But my journey was my spiritual gifts. I've had them as a kid, but they were suppressed because growing up in the environment I grew up in, it was just very toxic and damaging to my soul. This subconsciously follows into your adulthood. It wasn't until I decided to stop that cycle, because I saw myself going down the same cycle as people in my family, and I was like, no, not for me. And so I made the decision to remove myself from people, places, and things outside of, family stuff, but the world I was in. Backstabbed and held back, or, betrayed and just misunderstood and all these other things. My heart never turned cold, and I never had any vendetta for anyone or anything. There's some advice for you guys along the spiritual journey of true light is you don't need to go seek someone else to put anything on anyone or do anything malicious. It's gonna work itself out. That's just the way karma is. But that was just not in me to be that way. Stayed in the light. I stayed kind and did not let it take out that light within me, and really went on this dark night of the soul journey. If y'all don't know what dark night of the soul is, it is a very painfully emotional, difficult process of literally breaking yourself down to the core, unlayering, unpacking everything that you thought you were, your identity, how you were programmed, how you were raised, what you were around, and getting back to who you were. That requires shedding of the ultimate kind, where you're also willing to look in the mirror and be like, what am I doing that's not making me feel at peace, that isn't me, that is not making me happy? All those questions. Being very, very honest. This requires a lot of honesty, the spiritual awakening journey. Cosmic knowledge of, ancient Egypt and all that. Yes, that is all interesting things you're going to learn along this spiritual journey. That's the knowledge part of it. But the major chunk of this journey is your healing, your soul lessons. We all come here with karma, and we're all here to clear it. So you are having that opportunity right now, so make the most of it. Don't come back here again. You don't wanna. There's a lot you learn a lot here, and you'll know what that means. And if you understand what I'm saying, it's going to resonate with certain aspects of your life. For me, I went through my dark night of the soul, and I walked away from everything, my old self, completely in every way possible, to journey on this my own path. And that process alone was its own difficult journey, because people think, oh, you're awake and everything's peaches and roses. Nah. Now you got to be put to the test. When I was on my spiritual awakening journey and I went into isolation for about a month and a half, 2 months. How the Tibetan monks, they go out to the mountains and they meditate from morning to night? That's what I did in my own home for a month and a half straight. I ate when I was hungry. Didn't touch the phone unless I needed to. The only thing I had on TV was meditation music, nothing else. I was just purging, and coming into this. It was a very, very emotional period that time, but the divine was all around me and I felt them so strong. So this is how I know about spiritual gifts can come online for other people. But even though I was spiritual gifts since I was a kid, but there's some souls, if they're surrounded by so much noise and distractions, that part of them gets quieted down. And it's not until they remove themselves and isolate themselves that they're able to hear it. And that's what happened to me. Through this difficult journey, once I came out of isolation, it wasn't done. Now I had to interact with everyday life. How am I going to apply what I learned to everyday life? And that was at first difficult. I had to intertwine reality with my spirituality. This is what I was telling y'all. Y'all can't be all in the air all the time. And once I learned how to do that, balance both worlds, it was it. Seeing all the signs clear as day and seeing magic literally unfold right before my eyes. That's why I don't need to be on here bullshitting. I don't gain anything from it. I could speak to the truth of spirit and the divine because I've seen it. Different things that have happened to me. And that is big on the spiritual journey, is your connection to the divine, to spirit, to source. Even though God, source, you know, people say it's an energy, not someone sitting on a throne. Absolutely. But source has a consciousness. Don't you forget that. Source has a soul. You can connect to it because you are a part of source. Your relationship with God, source, the creator, becomes very strong. And with the divine as well. The super high dimensional beings who are all about love and light. And also, a big factor is trusting that what's happening for you is for your greater good, even if it doesn't look like it. This is what I've learned along this journey, y'all. It's always for the greater good of you. Fast forward, now I'm here guiding and healing people in person, and it's just freaking amazing. So don't lose sight of your awakening, the reason why you're here, y'all. Tap in with yourself. Do what's right in your heart. Through spiritual discipline, honoring your authenticity, that's how you will find that inner peace on your awakening.